Welcome to this episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess. I'm Eric.
And I'm Angie.
We are married with a ton of kids.
We have 6 kids total. He has 3 and I have 3.
My name's Hallie and I love riding horses.
I'm Lexi and I love agriculture.
My name's Carter and I love eating.
My name's Chase and I love lifting weights.
My name's Summer and I love spending my parents' money.
I'm Dane and I love baseball.
Our show is about our blended, blessed, and always a mess life. And our hope is if you find yourself in the same situation we are in, that by sharing our story, all the fun and all the mess, the challenges we are experiencing, it will give you some inspirations, laughs, and community, knowing you are not alone in this mess.
We appreciate you spending time with us. Let's dive in.
This episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess is sponsored by the children's book Feathers Matter. As our kids grow up, they face challenges in their life, and knowing their self-worth and their value is crucial to face the headwinds. Purchase this beautiful story to read to your kids and grandkids and start the conversation with them at a young age. They are worthy, they matter, and their feathers matter. You can find the link to order on our Blended, Blessed, alwaysamess.com page. Mention code #blessed for an autographed copy.
Hey, this is Angie. Welcome to Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess. And you are stuck with me on this episode. I just happen to have a little bit of time and I have a lot of heavy things weighing on me. And so I decided I'm just going to get on here and talk for a minute. So one of the things that has been heavy is that when you lose someone and they are an organ donor, after a certain amount of time that's passed, you can write a letter to the recipients. And so in Hallie's situation, that was about 5 or 6 people that received an organ from her. And also an individual, a young boy, received some bone fingers. We've never received a letter back. And so I need to rewrite a letter to the organ recipients. And I struggle to do it. It's been on my list for a while to do, and I don't know why. I'm having a hard time rewriting and asking for them to write back and let us know how they're doing. I mean, they have Hallie's organs in them, and a piece of her is still here and living and breathing, helping someone else live. Anyway, I'm looking for the original letter that I wrote, and I came across a letter that I wrote to Hallie when she graduated high school, and I thought I would just read it to you. I would also encourage you to write letters to your kids because you never know. But it's hard to read. So, June 16th, 2020. Hallie, where to begin? There's something so special about your firstborn. As an expectant mom, you try to imagine what your baby will look like. How much will they weigh? Will they have hair? And a bazillion other thoughts in addition to praying like crazy they arrive healthy. It's an absolute miracle to have the ability to grow and create a human. The journey is filled with excitement, joy, fear, and a roller coaster of emotions. You think if I could just get them into this world safely, everything will be all right. The day arrives. It's January 17th, 2002. After kicking your grandpa Jim out of the room so you could arrive, Hallie Elizabeth, you made your debut weighing 6 pounds and 14 ounces with very little hair. In fact, the bows Trisha bought you, thinking you were another baby she saw, were useless. I fell in love with being your mom the moment I saw you. And as a mom, it is such an absolute gift to watch you grow and learn every single day. You were a laid-back baby, but did not like to sleep. The minute you felt like we were laying you down, your eyes were wide open. Even Grandma Alice was amazed at your ability to detect this. You immediately had a love of animals, from kittens to puppies to a steer and then horses. And it seems like as you grew, so did the size of the animals that you loved. Little did we know just what the love of animals would turn into. Kindergarten came and went. I was not one of those moms that cried when you entered kindergarten. I was always excited to see what your next venture in your future would hold. I ask you and the twins often, do you know what my favorite thing is? And yes, you would say, it's watching you have fun and explore life. I think because of that, I was always excited about the next thing happening in your life, whether it was the next grade level in school or the 4-H knowledge horse bowl or water skiing or four-wheeling or barrel racing. You definitely were not scared of much. Not sure if that was good or bad. You didn't mind staying at home after school by yourself when you were younger, getting on that 2,000-pound animal as you were a little older. The only thing I can come up with that scared you was squirrels. You're a brave girl, and I admire that about you. You took on starting a new school in 7th grade like a boss, and I love that. You just happened to meet Allison at the horse barn right before school started, and you became instant friends, sharing the same love for horses and adventure. Too much sometimes, like losing a horse while attempting to swim with them in a creek. Then came high school. You were a beautiful child, and you grew into even more of a beautiful young woman, and I watched it happen right before my eyes. You became a horse owner, not once, but twice. You rocked all the beautiful prom dresses. You did not give up on the ACT test and ended up with the score that you wanted. You got your driver's license. That was scary AF for me. You learned how to back a trailer so patiently. LOL. You dealt with horse injuries and setbacks, but you didn't let it stop you. You survived getting your wisdom teeth out due to my quick acting gauze retrieval. Relentless and determined. Our Vegas trip was such an awesome memory, many firsts for both of us. The helicopter ride over Grand Canyon, Cowboy Christmas, George Strait, and the National Finals Rodeo. It was bittersweet because I definitely was not traveling with the child. I was traveling
Answer
with...
the phone, bitch.
Oh my God. That's Hallie's ringtone on her phone, and I have it by me. I was traveling with a young woman, and it was a blast. And somehow, through all of this, deep down, I wanted to pump the brakes. My heart wanted to switch from being excited about the next level, the next thing you will learn, the next adventure, to feeling a little bit of a panic, thinking, holy shit, your next adventure is not going to be under my roof. How did this happen so quickly? I still laugh at the day you told me how you described me to your friends. Mom, I tell my friends you're like a mama bird. We're all in the nest trying to fly, and you just push us out of the nest to figure it out. I always tried to teach you how to do things on your own. That didn't work on keeping your room clean. But I remember the day you texted me and said, Mom, I'm confused. Some days you're like a mama bird, and then other days you're like a mama bear. And you hit the nail on the head. I'm excited for you, and at the same time trying to be the one that protects you, but be there to tell you it's going to be okay and you got this. I still want you to come in my room and crawl into bed with me to show me all the funny videos on your phone. I want to know you're home and safe, and I know that is not my role anymore, but I will always be Mama Bear, even when you are 45. Hallie, I know I have not been the best mom, and I sincerely apologize that you had to go through a divorce. I don't know what it's like to have divorced parents, but I imagine it really sucks. If there's one thing I wish we could have avoided putting you through, it would have been the divorce. I struggle with mom guilt daily because of it, and I worry about long-term impacts and how you will choose your life partner, because I want you to find someone you can grow old with and that will grow with you. Someone that will encourage you to chase all your dreams. And I know I've let you down and I've made mistakes and I'm so far from perfect, it's not funny. But girl, I love you so damn much. I'm beyond lucky to be your mom, and I want to always do better for you. I try to put a positive spin on life because life's hard and I don't like feeling sad. And I think because of me trying to be positive, sometimes I avoid digging into negative parts of my life, and I have not been open about my feelings, and therefore you're not open with yours with me. And I want to do better, and I want us to have this super close mother-daughter relationship where you can tell me anything. My future wish is that we get to that place, and I hope that you accept my apology and forgive me for my mistakes. And with your new chapter, we also start a new chapter together of our relationship. I could not be more proud of you, Hallie. This chapter is closing, but the next chapter is going to be even more exciting. And I know you're equipped with all the tools to be a badass in this world, and you will rock college. I have zero doubt that you will spread those wings and make us all so proud. You have the opportunity now to create your own path without Mama Bear or Mama Bird. I love you more than you can imagine. And I'm only a text or phone call away, and I will always be in your corner cheering you on. So that's the letter that I found. But I guess what's top of mind for me is while we have all this heaviness of trying to describe what it feels like to lose a child and the impact on our life, I always circle back to self-worth and what it means to me, because I've struggled with it somewhat, but then there's some aspects that I haven't. And I think for me, self-worth is this internal sense of I'm good enough. Like I'm worthy of love and belonging for other people. And sometimes self-worth is confused with self-esteem, which self-esteem kind of relies on external factors, like it's more wrapped around achievements that define your worth. But self-worth is this general feeling and sense that I'm good enough, and I deserve to be treated well, to be respected, to be loved in a manner that does not tear me down. And, there's a lot of ways to explain self-worth, but it's a belief in yourself that you are valuable as the person next to you, or just as valuable as that person. No one is more valuable than you are, or wishing you were someone else than who you are. You have no other choice but to be who God created you to be, and that you're proud of yourself, right? You can handle negative feedback because you have this general sense that God created you and that you are worthy. Example of self-worth is you've maybe faced a setback, right? But it doesn't impact your core beliefs that you are worthy, and you can still move forward. And we all get into relationships where this is impacted, right, by external factors, but it doesn't mess with your overarching worth. It's true self-worth is this belief in yourself, and it does not matter what people think of you. And a person with this high sense of self-worth can enjoy possessions and relationships and experiences, but those external factors don't define who you are. Everything that I just mentioned is all temporary. Everything is temporary. And that's something I think we all have to keep reminding ourselves of, whether you're in a hard spot or a great spot. It's all temporary. Downhill roller coasters where you feel like you're going to vomit, temporary. The high achievement and success and the great day, temporary. It doesn't change your fundamental being. You still know that you're worthy. So what do you do if you feel like you lack self-worth? And that can be put in the bucket of low self-esteem. You feel incompetent, unlovable, not good enough. So here's some things that you can do to build your self-worth. First of all, recognize what you're good at. We're literally all good at something. It could be cooking, it could be designing things, it could be baking, it could be being with a friend and having great conversation, it could be a great listener. We are all good at things. That's number one. Make a list. You're good at a lot of things. Number 2 is make sure that you have positive relationships. This one is key, and I wish I had the answers. But if you feel drained when you're in a relationship with someone, whether it's a friend, a partner, parent, whatever, brother, sister, friend, whatever that looks like, if it doesn't make you feel better and it's a negative, it more ends negatively, or you don't feel good about yourself, boundaries. You cannot be in relationships like that. You can't. It's not healthy. Our kids navigate this where they feel like, oh, I've got to be friends with this person because they're in this friend group. No, not if it's negative on your core being. If it impacts you negatively, you cannot be in that relationship. And yes, it's extremely difficult to try to get out of that, especially like in a friend group or even in a marriage. But you have to put boundaries in place and remove yourself from that, or your self-esteem and worth will plummet. You also need to be kind to yourself. Pay attention to what your self-talk is. What story are you telling yourself? Because we all do it. There's all this narrative and dialogue running in our minds. Pay attention to it. If it's not kind stuff that you're saying, you better shut that shit off and turn it into positive. Learning to be assertive. I say this all the time to one of my kiddos. You have got to find your voice. Doesn't mean to be a hag, anything like that, but you have got to be able to have a voice and communicate. As hard and challenging as that can be, you have to share how you're feeling and say no. Say no. I think people pleasers often get sucked into this self-worth battle because we want to help everybody else. And sometimes helping and making sure everybody else is taken care of, even when maybe those relationships aren't the best. We say yes to too many things. We don't communicate how we feel. We take the back burner when it comes to our own internal being. Detrimental to self-worth. You have to start saying no and challenge yourself, right? Your experiences and what you're able to change and evolve into also builds your worth. It is an internal job, and you have to make sure you don't let external factors degrade your worth. It's positive habits. It's regular exercise, healthy eating, making sure that you feel good about yourself, journaling, reading, all of those things, that investment in who you are and who you want to become naturally builds self-worth. So I know I'm on a rant, but as I am thinking about my life and all of this pain and heartache that I'm carrying, it all goes back to this level of frustration, knowing that my daughter did not see her worth. She had it. And the last couple years, you could see it plummet. She believed less in herself. She did not take care of herself. She lost her confidence. She lost her ability to dream. She settled. And part of it was external factors that were eating away at her self-worth. And ultimately, she lost her life. And so, yes, I get fired up when I think about self-worth, when I see people in relationships that they should not be in, or even friendships that they should not be in, because you can see the impact that it has on their self-worth. I see it at work. I see it in situations in the workplace where people maybe are not in the right position, and it's compromising their self-worth because they don't feel valued. And there's a lot to pay attention. And you know who's responsible for that? We are. We're responsible for our own self-worth and protecting that. You have to protect it. This month is my birthday month. And, I used to celebrate it. I know we talk about that on here all the time. And I won't do it anymore because it's it doesn't matter anymore, right? Because you celebrate your birthday. It's like another level. And my birthdays will never be the same like they were, but that's okay. That's okay. I am a different person, and what I value and what I want to honor in myself has changed. But I do want to give a discount for Feathers Matter for my birthday. So you can enter in a B-Day, BDAY code on Blended Blessed, Always a Mess, to get 15% off of Feathers Matter. And I'm doing that because my hope is that if you want to celebrate my birthday with me, that you would purchase a book and give it to someone that needs to know their worth, to get that reminder that they matter, they are worthy, they are strong, they are beautiful, they were created by God. Like, think about that. You're created by God. That alone should make you feel worthy. And what someone else feels about you, says about you, doesn't matter. And, we're in this sort of back and forth in a situation where I know families don't agree with my thought process on Hallie's worth or happiness, all of that. And that's okay. It doesn't make me feel less valued. It doesn't change my beliefs. I understand that they have opinions about me, and that's okay. People are going to have opinions about you. You cannot let it impact who you are and your belief in your value, your worth, and why you are here. We are all created to be here at this point in time, and there is purpose in that. So I also think if you lean into your purpose, your strengths, and you honor that, your self-worth will skyrocket. It will skyrocket. So it's going to be a short podcast. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Tell someone that they matter. Tell someone that they're worthy, that they're beautiful, that they are strong. And even if that person that you're telling that to is you, keep the positive self-talk and have a great week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to Blended Blessed and Always a Mess. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and at blendedblessedalwaysamess.com.
Reach out to us on any of our social channels. We would love to hear from you. Have a great week.